Well, after a successful run at the 2025 National Arts Festival and taking home the prestigious Standard Bank Gold Ovation Award, Afropocalypse is currently at the Market Theatre, and at its core, Afropocalypse, it's a unique interpretation of apocalyptic themes through an African lens. And so in a world saturated with familiar visions of destruction, the play poses an intriguing question, and that question is, what does an apocalypse look like in the heart of Africa? How do its survivors recount these stories as they rise from the ashes of a shattered existence? So perhaps for more, we're going to be joined by the director Daniel Buckland and actor and narrator Tato Harodi. Good morning to the both of you, and thank you for your time.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Well, it's obviously got the Standard Ovation Award at the National Arts Festival. That's a huge feat. Now it's at the Market Theatre, so it's obviously been well received. Why is this resonating so well with audience? An apocalypse through an African lens. The inspiration, Daniel, perhaps you can bring us up to speed in your creative vision at large.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose all of us are fascinated with the idea of how it all ends, and it's kind of like a dark amount of fun. So that's the kind of starting point, and we use the kind of apocalypse as a lens to look at what is redeemable, what's worth saving, what are the fun parts. And I think we lean quite heavily into the fun, silly parts of humanity. So that seems to be the kind of traction we have with the audience, which has been gratifying to see.
Yes, and then I want to bring you to the conversation, Tato, because you obviously the lead in this, and you're looking at the narration, we're looking at the stories, the hope, the destitution as well. Perhaps even if we look at what's happened with social political constructs already in our own country, can you draw parallels from that as well? Can you tell us how this experience has been for you at large?
It's been amazing, man. Meeting and working with Daniel has been fantastic. He's a wonderful collaborator. And it's just been wonderful. I think, one of my favorite things about Afropocalypse is that it's multidisciplinary.
Sure.
And our training at the Market Theatre Laboratory really set us up for what we're doing now. Because there's so much that's happening in the show, but we've been prepared for it. Like, we have physical theatre, children's theatre, satire and puppetry. And yeah, the whole experience has been great.
Yes.
We're grateful. We're grateful.
Can you talk to us about that training as well? I mean, you guys going from different venues as well, the setting. Talk to us about the number of people also. Is it better as an intimate setting? Do you need a bigger audience? How does it all play into this reimagining that you're trying to evoke through the message?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone will say we need a bigger audience.
Oh, okay. I know some people prefer the intimacy of smaller.
We love a bit of an intimate venue, but we want it packed out. And luckily, for the last little bit, it's been like really, really well attended. But you're right, 14 people on stage, that ensemble is huge. There's a lot of coordination. And as Tato was saying, the kind of different layers of a little bit of realism, a little bit of physical theatre, some acrobatics, all of that kind of fits together in a puzzle piece to really paint a very weird, like fantastical science fiction, but relatable world.
Yes, through that Afro lens as well, which is important. And I mean, we've seen movies and other productions play out where it's more Western-centric.
Yeah.
The centric is more Western. And I wonder if we're looking at the costumes, if we're looking at, just everything, the set design that comes from that. How was that all incorporated? What elements were used? What were the different symbols that would also been evoked through what's on stage?
So, I mean, as you can kind of see in the background, we use a lot of sugar bags. We've got a brilliant designer, Jade Bowers. So the kind of sugar bags or the kind of reclaimer bags were a central feature. And if you throw that at a performer like Tato and the rest of the performers, they like evolve it and switch it and change it, make it into a creature, a puppet, a house, a character. And that's what we do with a lot of the show, is take these sugar bags and make them the kind of central point of exploration. So that was a big access point. And then also in terms of the costume, Jade worked with what was left over, what were the remnants of what was here before. So a business suit becomes a dilapidated, all these little cultural kind of winks and nudges have been degraded and kind of persist in a new light.
But also taking literal scraps sometimes from the Market Theatre's costume department. We were putting things together as we were going.
Wow. Okay. Because I wanted to then imagine with what was said about what was said about the. What was said about the entire production itself, the challenging aspects of it. So when you're thrown with all these props and things, how do you work with it? What goes into that mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually?
How do you work with that?
Well, under his guidance, of course, right? Because that's the gift of being able to bounce off each other.
Well, preparation, number one,
Okay.
but also trusting one another. We're working with our bodies, doing a lot of physical, acrobatic things. We have to trust each other. And just get there and focus and do the job.
You're making it sound a little bit easier than what it was. Right, look,
They hustled. I've very rarely seen a group cast work harder and vigilantly, and no, they were amazing and are amazing.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Thank you.
When it comes to, how the audiences also received it, I mean, the messaging, as we mentioned, was important. There were pivotal questions that were also asked. What was evoked on that front? How was the conversation continued? Does this then also mean from here into there's a sequel and more happens? How do you keep the conversation going? Are we living in that apocalypse now?
Well, I mean, that's exactly the question. I mean, so the whole show maps 4 different versions of how the apocalypse happened. And some of those are things that have already happened. So through that lens, we're going, this is the current apocalypse, and then this is what might be, and... So that was a key question, is like apocalypse is very subjective. Some people's like success is another person's apocalypse. So a sequel, which I would love to play with, is basically an extension of those ideas and a kind of different series of events that led to different versions of apocalypses.
And also with death, there's also renewal. So is that then an apocalypse, or is that just a new beginning, right?
Yeah.
That could also be a perspective. I don't know.
Yeah, 100%.
Tato, what emerged for you on that front? Because obviously you have to convey this. You have to be that vessel. But when you're looking at your own healing that would have come from this, what are those internal conversations you had with yourself?
Yeah. Something I really want the audience to take away from this is introspection to a certain degree. Because like you're saying, we are living in some of the apocalypse, right? And in the process, when we were working on it, there are 4 stories, as he said. But there was one story in particular where I felt like, oh, in this story, I'm the one who's being spoken to. I'm the one who's being spoken about. And so I'd love for the audience to have that experience with the stories as well. Maybe all of them, maybe just one. But
are you allowed to ask which one that was? You're teasing it so
Very
well. What do you mean?
One-Eyed Mother.
Okay.
One-Eyed Mother for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the kind of climax of the show, and it's a kind of poetic exploration in terms of your relationship with your mother and the Mother Earth and a whole bunch of stuff.
And women generally.
The feminine, do you respect your mother, Mother Earth? We're looking at the external, how we treat... All right, lots of conversations going there. So how long is it running up until at the Market Theatre?
It is up to tomorrow, so 7th of August. Tomorrow's the 7th?
Tomorrow's the 7th, yes.
So,
what time is the shows?
7th of December. 3 o'clock tomorrow, 3 o'clock today, and 7 o'clock tonight.
All right, Director Daniel Buckland, actor Tato Kharodi, they're chatting about Afropocalypse. It's running until tomorrow. You heard it there. Our shows at 3 o'clock today, tomorrow, and of course at 7 p.m. as well. One at Standard Bank Ovation Award at the National Arts Festival. And we'll see. Perhaps there's a sequel in the works and plenty more action following the well reception that it's received. But we'll leave it there for now and thank them for their time. We'll be right back after this, of course, at the top of the hour. More news and updates. Do stay tuned.